Welcome to the AI React podcast.
where we react to everything and anything.
Okay, so today we're doing a bit of a deep dive into an English rock band, Faces.
Ah, Faces. Yeah, great band. Kind of a bridge between eras, really.
Exactly. So let's set the scene a bit. Formed back in '69, right?
What's it? You had the remaining guys from Small Faces, E. McLaughlin on keys, Ronnie Lane on bass, Kenny Jones on the drums.
The core rhythm section, yeah.
Right. And then the big additions were Ronnie Wood on guitar and, of course, Rod Stewart doing lead vocals. They just left the Jeff Beck group.
Quite the lineup change, sort of a supergroup before that term was maybe thrown around so much.
You could say that, yeah. They just clicked. Didn't last forever, though.
No, they were done by '74, I think.
Yeah.
But in that time, wow, some
Yeah.
killer tracks.
Stay With Me, obviously. Cindy, incidentally.
Debris is a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
And I Know I'm Losing You, Bad and Ruin.
Good list. And the album, too. First Step, Long Player.
A nod is as good as a wink
Mm.
to a blind horse. Classic title, classic album.
Absolutely. And Ooh La La from 73.
Which brings us to the song we're really focusing on today, Ooh La La, the title track from that album, also released as a single that year.
Right. It's a fascinating one, lyrically. Seems simple on the surface, maybe?
Kind of feels that way. Let's imagine we just heard a little snippet of it, that acoustic guitar intro.
Yeah, very distinctive.
So the story in the lyrics is like an older guy called Grand talking to a younger person, right? Giving advice.
Pretty much. Advice specifically about, well, women and love.
And that killer line hits you straight away. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. I mean, who hasn't felt that?
Uh-huh. It's pure hindsight, isn't it? That universal feeling of, if only. You know, the mistakes made, the lessons learned.
Yeah.
Maybe learned the hard way.
Yeah, definitely the hard way. But then it gets a bit, well, maybe darker. He says, love is blind and you soon will find you're just a boy again.
Mhm.
Like, does love just make you naive and foolish again no matter how old you are? I don't know if I entirely agree with that perspective. It feels a little cynical.
See, I read it maybe slightly differently. Not necessarily foolish, but maybe vulnerable. Like, falling in love strips away all your experience, all your defenses, and you're back to feeling that raw uncertainty you felt when you were young. It kind of levels you.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Vulnerable rather than just naive. That makes sense. But what about this bit? She'll fast asleep with the stars. Young Grands. There's nothing I can say, have to look just like me. And that's the hardest way. That one's cryptic.
It really is, isn't it? Look just like me.
Keh.
Is he saying the younger person is making the same mistakes he did? Attracted to the same kind of person who caused him pain?
Could be, like a warning. You're heading down the same path I did, and trust me, it hurts. That kind of thing.
Exactly. That's one interpretation. The hardest way being learning through that specific kind of repeated heartache.
But the fast asleep with the stars part, it sounds almost beautiful detached. Maybe the person they're falling for is kind of unattainable, dreamy, distant, like chasing after someone who's emotionally checked out.
Oh, interesting angle. So the stars represent this ideal, maybe someone who seems perfect, but is actually cold or unavailable. And trying to make that work, that's the hardest way.
Yeah, it feels like it fits the slightly melancholic tone, you know, that contrast between the ideal and the painful reality.
So is Grand being cynical, just bitter about his past? Or is he genuinely trying to offer some hard-won wisdom? It's really ambiguous.
Totally. And that's what makes it stick with you, I think. Is this advice actually helpful, or is it just one person's jaded view? Do you have to learn it yourself anyway?
I think that's the point, maybe. The song doesn't give you the answer. It just lays out this perspective, this feeling, this experience, and leaves you, the listener, to figure out what it means for you. Great songwriting.
Absolutely. So, Faces. Born from the ashes of one great band, creating this amazing, if short-lived, legacy, and leaving us with tunes like Ooh La La, a simple song on the surface. But it really gets you thinking about love, regret, and learning things the hard way.
Well put. It's that feeling of looking back and just wishing you knew then what you know now. A timeless theme.
And as always, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
The podcast sponsor is in the description below, so go and check them out. Thanks.